How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's Stick Mobility class. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for joining me today. So for today's class, we're going to go through some full body warm-ups. We are not going to work on the feet and ankles, but we are going to work a lot on the hips and T-spine. For today's strength training drills, I'm going to be using a rack as if it's a wall or a door frame. So we're actually going to get into some single leg stuff today. Okay, we're going to get into specifically RDLs, but we're going to do something a little bit different with it. And then we're also going to get into working on some internal hip rotation, and I'm going to show you guys how to make a bridge a little bit better here. And then from there, we're going to get into some deep fascial stretching. We're going to get into a deep lunge rotation as well as a little bit of flow. Okay. So for today, I have two long sticks, and I have a pad for us to kneel on a little bit later. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take my long stick. I only got one long stick here to start. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a horse stance. First thing we're going to do, we're going to work on getting control of the pelvis here. So I want to take a horse stance, feet are pointed forward, and I want to get down to make sure my pelvis is stacked under my spine here, rib cage down. I'm going to have my hands roughly about sternum level, arms straight. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to generate tension into the floor. So I'm going to drive the stick into the floor, but about 30% tension. And then I'm going to tuck my pelvis in. So do a posterior tilt, squeeze those glutes, make sure everything's tightened up here. Good. And now we're going to do an anterior tilt. Feels lower back tissues tighten here. Try not to move your upper body. So do posterior tilt again. Squeeze those glutes. Good. Anterior tilt. Good. Posterior tilt. Squeeze the glutes. Good. Anterior tilt. Good. Posterior tilt. Good. Anterior tilt. Back to center. And good. Go to relax for a second. So now I'm going to switch to a split stance. This one's going to be a little bit different today. So I'm going to take a split stance, and I'm not going to go too far with my split, but I do want to make sure I got a pretty good split here. Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to have the stick in line with the center line of my body here, okay? And I actually want to have that back foot on the balls and toes on my back foot here. Left leg is starting forward. Hands are still at sternum height. We're going to do pelvic tilts, but now we're going to be in a split hip position. So from here, I'm going to drive the stick down, and I'm going to tuck my pelvis in, squeeze that right glute, do a posterior tilt. Your right glute should activate significantly here. Good. Now I'm going to do an anterior, so I'm going to tighten those lower back tissues here. You feel that those right erectors activate. Now I'm going to do a posterior tilt. Good. Keep driving that stick down, about 20 to 30% tension. Squeeze that glute. Now I'm going to do an anterior tilt. Still driving the stick down. So maintaining that line of tension here. Posterior tilt. Good. Make sure that glute's tight. Squeeze really well. Excellent. Now I'm going to do an anterior tilt. 3, 2, 1, and back to center. And relax. Good. And so now we're going to switch sides. And so what I really want you to pay attention to is, how is your pelvis moving? Are you tilting? Are you shifting out? You want to make sure that your hips are facing forward the entire time as we go through these drills here, okay? So we're just trying to, again, focus on control of the pelvis. So I'm going to get back into that same stance. Ball and toes on my back foot, okay? Knee stacked over the ankle here. From here, arms straight. And I'm going to drive the stick down. I'm going to tuck my pelvis in, posterior tilt, squeeze the glute. You're going to get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch here as well. Good. Anterior tilt. Excellent. Posterior tilt. Anterior tilt. Good. Posterior tilt. Breathe. Anterior tilt. Excellent. Back to center. And relax. Good. Okay, so just change the position there a little bit just to work on some of that pelvic control. So now we're going to go into lateral tilting here. And so what I want to do is I'm not going to have the stick straight in front. I'm going to have it over to the side of it. So the stick is in line with my left foot here. I'm going to be focused on tilting that left, tilting my pelvis up to the left. So bump the hip up to the left here. I want to have my right hand on top, left hand on bottom, about sternum level here. I want to try to keep that stick remaining straight up. Okay, so I'm going to be slightly rotated. From here, I'm going to drive the stick down to the floor, about 20-30% tension. I'm going to bump my hips to the left. Back to center. Good. Bump to the left. Good. Back to center. Excellent. Bump to the left. You should be feeling those obliques activate as well. Back to center. Let's go 2 more. Bump hips to the left. Left glute activate. Back to center. 1 more time. Bump the hips to the left. And back to center. Relax. Good. Now I'm going to switch sides. And I'm also going to switch hands here. So now my left hand's up over the top. Back to the stance. Arms straight. Drive the stick down. 20-30% tension. Keep those hips facing forward. Bump the hips to the right. Back to center. Excellent. Bump hips to the right. Back to center. Good. Bump hips to the right. Good. Back to center. Let's go 2 more. Bump hips to the right. Back to center. Last one. Bump the hips to the right. Back to center. And relax. Good. Okay. So now I'm going to grab the second stick here. And we're going to do a little bit of flow. We're going to work into the double hang, rotate, and then into a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. So the width that you go with for this is going to be dependent on you and, again, how flexible you are. So I'll actually show the side profile here for this one. And I'll start with my left foot forward, okay? And I want the sticks about 6 to 8 inches behind the line of my left heel. I'm going to start with my hands up top, okay? What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to drop that right knee down, get a good stretch in the arms here, okay? I'm going to drive the sticks down 15 to 20%. I'm going to rotate to the right. Good. Rotate to the left. Back to center. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend my left knee, reach out with both hands. Good. Should begin to stretch in the hamstring a bit. Now I'm going to drop back down. Good. Drive the sticks to the floor. Rotate to the right. Good. Left. Back to center. Good. Straighten that left knee out. Hinge forward. Reach. Good. Now come up and switch sides. So I wanted you guys to see what that was like from a side profile. Okay. So now I'm going to switch my legs. Right foot's going to be forward here. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab the top of the sticks here. Get with that rope grip. Okay. And from here, I'm going to drop that back knee down. Good. Get a good hang here. Drive the sticks down. I'm going to rotate to my left. Good. Keep those hips forward. Rotate to the right. Back to center. Toes up. Reach forward. Straighten that knee out. Good. Foot back down. Drop that back knee down again. Activate the scapula. Drive the sticks into the floor. Rotate to the left. right, back to center, good. Extend that knee, toes up towards the ceiling, reach forward. 3, 2, 1, foot down, and come out. Excellent, good. Okay, we're gonna put one stick down now. Now we're gonna get some shoulder activation here, okay? And so what I wanna do from here is I'm gonna take the stick. Now, in terms of grip, again, it's gonna depend on your shoulder mobility and where you're at and what does not cause pain. So I'm actually gonna start out with my hands pretty wide, okay? So the stick, when I have my arms straight, the stick is about, I have to guess, 2-3 inches below my waistline. I'm gonna take the stick up and I'm gonna place it behind my head, right under the occipital region. So if I turn around, see where it's at here, okay? Now what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna go through a series of activations. So from this position here, I wanna make sure that my elbows are back under the stick. I don't want my elbows forward and I don't want my elbows super far behind. I want it stacked under the stick to the best of my abilities. So what I'm gonna do from here is I'm going to first pull the stick apart. So I'm gonna grip the stick and I'm gonna pull the stick apart with about 30% tension. Try and get that upper back active, okay? And so as you do this, your shoulder blades should be retracting. Make sure those glutes are tight, blocking those hips forward. Now I'm going to try to shorten the stick, so I'm going to push in. You're probably gonna get a little bit more activation in the mid traps here, okay? Good. Pull the stick apart, 30%. Try to stay as upright as you can. Now shorten the stick, push in. Still at 30%. Try to keep those rib cage down. Now I'm going to pull apart one more time. Good. I'm going to try to shorten the stick. 30%. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent, come out. Good. And now we're going to get into a little bit of kayaking, okay? This is one of my favorite drills for loosening up the shoulder blades here, okay? So, I'm going to grab the stick. I'm going to grip out as wide as I can, okay? And so what we're going to do from here, we're going to get back into that horse stance, and I'm going to start with my right arm up, okay? I'm going to start to drive that right arm forward and through, left shoulder comes back, rotates up and over, and now I'm going to push that left arm through here, okay? Right shoulder comes back, rotates up and over, and then I'm going to push the right arm through. So as we do this here, I want you to really pay attention to your scapula, right, and what's going on. So it should be retracting, then you're going to rotate the scapula under and boom, come forward, retract, rotate the scapula under, and come forward. So, again, I want to make sure that there's no movement from the spine here. You're just keeping that movement at the scapula, feel it gliding along the rib cage. Only work with whatever range you have available to you that does not cause discomfort or pain. Good. 3, 2, 1, and excellent. Good. Perfect. So, that concludes today's warm-up. Kind of got a little bit of everything. So now we're going to get into the strength training phase. Okay? So, the very first drill that we're going to work on is we're going to work on a single leg RDL drill. However, again, I'm going to use the rack as if it's a wall. It's better if you actually have a wall here. And so, this, only going to need one stick for this one. So this is going to be quite challenging balance-wise, okay? So I'm going to have the stick driving into the wall. The stick is at roughly about chest height for me, okay? And I think that's a really good height to go with. And so what I want to do from here, I'm gonna go with my outside leg. My outside leg is gonna be the leg that's down here. Okay? Arms are gonna be straight. Okay? Now what I want to do first from here, I want to drive stick into the wall lightly. Okay? On about 20-30% tension. Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to pick up my right foot, and now I'm going to start to hinge into a single leg RDL. Once I get to an overhead position, driving that right heel back, I'm going to push the stick into the wall a little harder, about 50% tension. You're going to feel that left glute working pretty hard here. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. And ease off, relax. So that is a challenging one. You don't want to get too far deep. If you start to notice that your back's rounding or you're starting to get some lower back pain, again, we can always regress it by putting that right foot down and just working into a hinge pattern. So you're going to do the same thing again. Arms straight, okay? Try to keep the arms as straight as you possibly can here. Arms extended, drive the stick into the wall, 20-30%, get that pre-activation here. Now I'm going to hinge, drive that stick forward, arms straight, push the stick into the wall harder, 50-60%, arms straight, hold, 3, 2, 1, back up, and ease off. Excellent. We're going to go one more time here. So the main part about this is we're getting that right side active here. Reflexively, that left leg has a push into the wall to keep you from tipping over. Okay. One more time. Arms straight. Okay. Drive stick into the wall, 20-30% tension. Make sure you're driving with both hands here. That's really important. Lift that right leg up. You're going to hinge. Arms straight. Drive stick into the wall, 50-60%. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back up. And ease off. Good. Okay, now we're going to turn around and switch here. So one side's going to be a little harder than the other. That's fine. Again, only work with the range that you have available to you. Okay? And if it's too hard to get to that overhead position or have the stick too far in the overhead, just bring it down a little bit, okay? So we're going to do that same thing. Feet together. Arms are straight. Okay? Elbows locked. Going to drive stick into the wall. 20-30% tension. I'm going to hinge. Drive those arms out. Push. Make sure you're grabbing the ground with your toes here. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back up. And relax. Good. Okay, we're going to go 2 more here. So this is another good way to work with some of that single leg RDL. Okay? Really work on learning how to drive with that glute. Same thing. Arms straight. Drive stick into the wall, 20-30% tension. Okay? Pick that left foot up. Hinge. Push. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back up. And relax. Good. We're going to go one more time here. Good stick up. Okay. Again, roughly about chest high here. Arms straight. Okay. Drive stick into the wall. 20-30%. Lift that left foot up. Hinge. Push the stick into the wall. 50-60%. 3, 2, 1. Back up. And relax. Excellent. Good. So, A little bit of single leg work with the RDL there, okay? So now I'm gonna take the other stick. We're gonna work on some internal hip rotation. So this one's a little challenging to work with just because you have to make sure the stick separation is good, but also the position we're gonna be working from is actually gonna be a little bit of a weaker position here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have both feet together and I'm gonna start with my left hip here. So I'm gonna have the right stick at 12 o'clock, okay? The left stick is gonna be about 11. So the separation is gonna be too big. However, we're gonna have this left leg on the outside of this left stick here. So hands are gonna be about roughly shoulder height, maybe slightly higher, make it a little more challenging here. Now, left arm is straight. Now what I wanna do from here is I want to drive both sticks down, and I just want to activate the obliques on this side. So I just want to hold this position here. 50 to 60% activation. Both arms straight, stay up tall. Hold. In 3, 2, 1, ease off. Good. Okay. So now we're going to bring this left hip up on the outside of the stick here, okay? So arms straight, shoulders down. I want to drive the sticks into the floor, 50-60% tension. So push. I'm going to bring my left hip up on the outside of this left stick, and I'm going to push that leg or that knee into the stick. Now I'm going to rotate my foot away, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back in and down. Ease off. Excellent. We're going to go 2 more here. Arms straight. Drive both sticks down. Get that activation. Bring the left hip up. Outside of the stick. Drive that knee against the stick. Rotate the foot away. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in and down. Ease off. Excellent. We're going to go one more time, then we're going to switch sides. So arms straight. Drive both sticks down. Okay, bring that left hip up. Outside of the stick. Push that knee into the stick. Drive the foot away. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in and down. Ease off. Relax for a second. Okay, shake your hips out. So we're getting a lot of the obliques working there. We're getting some of those internal hip rotators. So you're going to get some of that TFL working here. Trying to get all those tissues activated, especially in the hip flex position. So left arm or left stick is going to be forward. Right stick's going to be at 1 o'clock. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing. Activation first. So 50-60%, drop both sticks into the ground, arms straight, and push. Good. Feel that right lat. Feel that obliques are activating here. Hold. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So, arms are straight. Okay. Shoulders down. First activation, 50-60%. Drive both sticks into the floor. Bring that right hip up. Good. Now, drive the foot away. Keep pushing that knee into the stick. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in and down and ease off. Good. Going to go 2 more here. So you're going to notice rotation is going to be different one side versus the other. This is a really good way to work on that internal hip rotation, which most people lack. So same thing, arms straight, shoulders down, activate 50-60%. Bring that right leg up, outside of the stick. Push the knee against the stick. Ooh, drive that foot away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in and down. And relax. Good. Gonna go one more time here, okay? Same thing. Arms are straight. Okay? Shoulders down. 56%. Activate. Bring that right hip up on the outside of the stick. Drive that knee against the stick. Rotate the foot away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. Down. And ease off. Awesome. That was a little bit challenging, all right? So now we're going to get into bridges here. So we're going to go to the floor. Now, it's good if you have the base of a wall. You're going to need a base of a wall, something that's really, really stable for you to push against. So the issue sometimes with people is that we have the ribs popping up when we do bridges here. So here's going to be a really good way to make sure we keep the ribs to the hips. So I'm going to have the stick between my legs here. And I'm going to have both hands on the stick. Arms are going to be straight. Now, the closer my feet or my heels are to my glutes, the more glute activation I can get. And your stance width and the width is going to be dependent on you. So from here, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drive the stick into the corner of the wall. You should feel your hips drop down. Your entire back should be flat to the floor. Now I'm going to bridge up. So I'm going to push through my heels, squeeze the glutes, keep driving the stick into the wall, about 60% tension. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down slowly. And relax. Ease off. Good. Let's increase that tension. Let's go to 70% here. Okay? Arms are straight. Drive the stick into the wall. 70%. Feel the core working. Drive up through the heels. Squeeze those glutes. Make sure you're getting them active. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. And ease off. Excellent. Let's go 80% here. Okay, last one. Arms straight. Drive that stick into the wall. Tuck that pelvis. Good. Bridge up. Push through those heels. Squeeze the glutes. So drive 80%. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease off. And relax. Good. Okay, so that's a good way to, again, work in learning how to bridge properly, learning how to keep that alignment of the rib cage relative to the pelvis there, okay? So now we're going to do here, we are going to get into a deep lunge rotation. So we're going to get into some deep fascial stretching here. So I'm going to have my inside leg back for this one, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have my right leg back. I want to have it back pretty far here. Now I want to get a little closer to the wall. I'm going to have the right stick, or the inside stick, wedges to the corner of the wall here, okay? And the left stick, or the stick that's on the outside hand, I'm going to bring it across as much as I can here, okay? So arm straight, bring it across, drive the stick into the ground. The bottom of the stick is in line with my mid-foot of my front foot here, okay? So toes forward. What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to sink into my front leg, okay? Then from here, I'm going to drive the left stick down and reach across with the left stick, pulling back with the right. And forcing that rotation. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Come up slowly. Excellent. We're going to do that again, okay? We're going to do 2 more on this side. So, same thing. I'm going to right hand up top, left hand's across. I'm going to sink into that front leg here. I'm going to reach across to the left. Now I'm going to drive that left stick down, or outside stick down, and reach across. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Ease off, come out. Let's get 1 more here, okay? Arm straight, right hand is up, shift forward in that front leg, get into a deep lunge, reach across to the left, drive that stick down, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back up, and relax, good. Now we're going to switch sides, okay? We're going to turn around here, and remember, that outside leg is forward, okay? Inside stick, press up against the wall. So outside hand comes across the body, arm straight, okay, in line with the midfoot here. Same series. So now I'm going to shift forward on that front leg, reach and drive the right stick down or outside stick down. Reach across. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Back up. Excellent. Good. Okay, same thing again. If you need to, you can always widen out your base. So I'm going to drop down, shift on that front leg. Good. Drive the right stick to the floor. Reach across with the right. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back up. Excellent. Okay. 1 more time here. Left hand is up tall. Okay. Rather drive forward on that front leg into a deep lunge. Drive the right stick into the floor, reach across. Three, 2, 1. Back up slow and relax. Good. So you're going to feel your rib cage open up significantly with that one. Okay. So I wanted to actually focus on rotating away from the front leg because that's going to force a little bit more of a stricter bit of rotation there, okay? So now we're gonna do a little bit of flow. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go from a single arm hang, supported with the opposite hand, into a bow and arrow, okay? So I'm gonna start with my left leg forward, okay? And the stick is actually gonna be in line with the midfoot, with the bottom of the stick is gonna be in line with my midfoot of my front foot, so my left foot here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually take a pretty wide stance here. I'm going to have my right hand up top. I'm going to have my left hand on the stick. I'm grabbing the sticker, but where you grab is going to be completely dependent on you, okay? I'm going to drop that back leg down, reach up with the right hand, and I'm going to drop my right hip towards the bottom of the stick here. Get a real big stretch for the front of the hip, maybe on the lateral side of the hip too. Good, now I'm going to come up, step forward with the right into about roughly hip width, slide my right hand down on the sticker, left hand up over the top, thumb facing down, and I'm going to extend my hips away from the hip to the stick, extend those hands out, get a bow and arrow, stretching out that lateral side on the left side here. Good, bring it back in. Now I'm going to switch my hands, step back, same thing, drive that right hip into the bottom of the stick, or towards the bottom of the stick here. Reaching up with that right hand. Good. Come up. Switch my hands. Go into a bow and arrow again. Breathe. Good. Ease off. So let's switch hands again one more time. Now I'm going to bring my right foot back and across. Get an even bigger stretch on that lateral line and that right hip. 3, 2, 1. Bring our right foot up. Slide our right hand down, left hand over the top of the stick. And extend. 3, 2, 1. And ease off. Good. Now we're going to switch sides. So the reason why I'm pairing these two with the single arm hang, I can get more of a stretch into the front of the hip with this one. So, and the more I bring that back leg across, the more of a stretch you're going to get in the hip. Okay? So, same setup. Right leg is going to be forward. Bottom of the stick is in line with the mid foot here. Left hand up over the top. Okay? Right hand's on the sticker. I'm going to drop down. Left hip going towards the bottom of the stick, squeezing that glute. Get a real good stretch in the hip here. Rib cage lateral line. 3, 2, 1. Step up with the left. Slide the left hand down, right hand up over the top. Go into a bow and arrow. Extend. Good. Ease off. Switch your hands again. Step back on the left. Drop that hip down towards the bottom of the stick. Three, 2, 1. Back up. Switch the hands. Go into a bow and arrow. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back in. Switch the hands one last time. Back foot goes across. Drop that hip down. 3, 2, 1. Step up with the left. Switch the hands. Go into a bow and arrow. Good. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Excellent. Good. Now I'm going to take the pad here. I'm going to go into a kneeling position. So I'm going to drop my right knee down. Okay. What we're going to do here, we're going to work on opening up the hip flexor. However, the positioning of the stick is going to change. So I'm going to go across my front leg here. So I'm going to start in front, go on the outside, and then on the outside again. Okay? So bottom of the stick is in right in line with the toes of my front foot here. So in this case, it's my left foot. I'm going to grab the stick at about roughly shoulder height. Back foot is, top of the back foot is flat to the floor. So I'm going to go through a series of activation. I'm going to drive the stick down 15%, drive the back foot to the floor, squeeze the right glute, and then shift my hips forward a bit here. So we're focused on getting a little bit of hip flexor stretch here. Okay? Good. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. We're not going to hold for too long here. We're going to go for about 8 seconds. Now I'm going to rotate the stick across. Okay, so it's going to be right outside my pinky toe here. Okay, so same series of activations, still trying to keep these hips forward, but I'm rotated, so I'm going to drive the stick down, drive that back foot to the floor, squeeze a glute, and then shift my hips forward here. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Excellent. One more time. Rotate a little bit further across. This is where it gets a little bit more challenging here. Because now, as I'm driving this hip forward, I have to get further rotation. So, arms are straight, I'm going to drive the stick down, drop the back foot into the floor, squeeze the right glute. I'm going to shift my hips forward, further getting some rotation in the T-spine. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Excellent. Now we're going to switch sides. And now we're going to switch hands as well, okay? So bottom six in line with the toes of the front foot here, okay? Same series, drive the stick down, drive the back foot into the floor, squeeze the left glute, shift hips forward. Those hip flexors open up. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent. Bring the stick to the outside of the right foot here, okay? Same thing, drive the stick down, drive the back foot into the floor, squeeze the left glute, shift the hips forward. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent, one last time, rotate further across. Okay, so same thing, drive the stick down first, drive the back foot to the floor, squeeze the glute, shift hips forward, a little bit more rotation. Three, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent. And that concludes today's workout. Thank you for joining me for the stick mobility class today. Hope everybody had a good class. And I'll catch you guys all next time. Have a wonderful day.